Hello, my name is Makayla Mitchell, and this is my case study presentation for Module 4, and I chose the reading Between the Cracks. In the case study Between the Cracks, this chapter details how some students may fall between the cracks in education because they do not qualify for special education and similar resources, but still fall behind in their coursework due to a variety of reasons. Thaddeus is a very smart kid, and even though he understands and can show that he excels in different concepts, his grades do not match his abilities. Kids like Thaddeus are referred to as PDKs, pretty dumb kids, even though they are actually bright and can be successful, but there is no one to catch them and prompt them in all scenarios, so they are left to fend for themselves. The chapter states that they can make it and survive enough on their own, but that is not enough on an educator's part to just let them fend for themselves in this way. At the end of this case study, there are some questions that need to be answered in regards to the reading. And the first question is, do you feel that Thaddeus has a disability? If so, what disability do you believe that he has? I believe that Thaddeus potentially has a learning disability, although it may be mild and harder to detect as he didn't qualify for special education. Raymond 2017 states that learners need to be active participants and show a responsibility for their own learning, as well as effectively relating new things that they have learned to previously learned achievements. Thaddeus is able to do so when prompted and when he is working with someone, and he can also work very well on his own with minimal prompting. He does not work on his own at all, though, and turns in no homework, so he is not entirely active and responsible for all aspects of his learning. Thaddeus is very capable of working through things with his hands, and he relies on his hands to work out various problems, although he does not count on them all of the time. They're almost like a support to him, and he displays this behavior with his hands and continues to build his knowledge and understanding of various concepts through a sensory experience, like the sensory motor stage of the constructivist perspectives, as stated in Raymond on page 179. His mother also makes note of how handy he is with no prior mechanical knowledge of the various things that he fixes around the house and for friends and neighbors. Question number 2 is, what does our information on Thaddeus' math skills tell us about the instruction he has received? Seek information on current approaches to the teaching of arithmetic, for example, having students memorize the basic math facts. Thaddeus' math skills show that he does have current knowledge of basic math concepts, at least addition and subtraction. He shows more strength in subtraction, but he is able to add with some prompting. He relies on his hands to do math, but he does not always use them to count. He uses mental math, but uses his hands as a concentration tool. Thaddeus may benefit from performance assessments in math, with extended time allowed for him to work out the problems and maybe an aid as well to help him in sorting out his facts. He may soon be able to work on his own, but I believe that he feels more comfortable with someone there while he works. He does not ask questions or ask for help, but he benefits from the presence of another individual. Activities with his peers may be beneficial as well, especially if they are introduced to tangible and physical objects to count and subtract from together. Question number 3 is, could knowing about Thaddeus' talent in fixing things help? Pretend that you are Thaddeus' math teacher and you want to use his strengths to help him improve in math. Design an activity suited to his strengths and help him learn any of the specific concepts as described in this case. Knowing Thaddeus' talent in fixing and working on tangible objects may help him tremendously, especially in building his math skills. As I mentioned in the previous slide, group and pair work may benefit Thaddeus to feel more supported in his learning, and it may be beneficial to use learning tools like counting Lego bricks, stacking blocks, or various shapes that can be grouped, like the little stacking bears in grade school, and having them be added together and subtracted from as well. It would be a great activity for all students to work together as well, and they could even work in stations to switch out what kind of objects that they count, add, and subtract. Using particular examples may help Thaddeus as well, like adding and subtracting from total pieces and parts in various tool sets or wheel spokes, usually something that is tangible so that Thaddeus may really have a hands-on approach to his learning. The last question, question number 4, for this case study is, to what extent do you agree with the principal's PDK statement? Should students who fit this profile be eligible for special education instruction? I do believe students who fit this profile should be eligible for special education instruction, or at least additional resources that can be beneficial to their success. I do not agree with the principal's statement about PDK, pretty dumb kids, who whatsoever as she refused to these bright children as dumb. It hurts me to think that someone in education that can look down on a certain type of student just because they learn and show success in different ways. It may be difficult to reach some students, but students like Thaddeus are bright and they have their own special interests and achievements. The students that the principal refers to as PDKs are literally the backbone of society, as the chapter states. These students will grow up to take care of those around them and take on various jobs that suit their skill sets. These students may not show their academic achievement in the same way as other students, but they are plenty capable of reaching any and every goal that they want to achieve. They just need the support and guidance to do so. To conclude my case study presentation, I want to discuss that Thaddeus and many students just like him are bright and capable of achieving and learning anything that they set their minds to. They fall between the cracks oftentimes because it is hard to put a pin in exactly what they need. If these students are given equitable tools to succeed as their peers have had, they may stand a chance at excelling far more than anyone believes that they can. They need support and guidance, but it is so easy for educators and for society in general to just write these students off if they are slow to learn and understand certain concepts. But they are able to excel in other ways, especially like Thaddeus and his interest in fixing and working on things. We need to work with these students and support them as we do the students who are at the top of the dean's list. All of our students are capable of learning and achieving. We just have to give them a chance. Attached is my reference page with the readings that I used for this case study presentation. In exporting these slides from PowerPoint into iMovie, it took away my hanging indentation, but these are the resources that I did use.